Alright everybody, as we're entering into the final weekend of the group stage, there's a couple of things to go over when it comes to the Nations Cup. First and foremost, of course, the last weekend of the group stage is now starting. Saturday and Sunday, as usual, we are having the games where the final two teams will be determined to move on to phase 2 before we're heading into the last chance qualifier. It also marks the end of the best of 3 matches, since we are from now on going to play out best of 5, so that's going to make things a lot more exciting. And for everybody that wasn't quite a fan of this many teams participating, thought that the skill gap was a bit too big, they will be very happy because we've now started to reduce the teams down to 8, and then we're going to have some pretty spicy round robin action between those 8 teams to determine which ones advance to the final bracket and fight for the actual title. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening with the Nations Cup right now. Unfortunately, there's also a couple of sad bits of news. One in particular, the US team, the number 1 team, the number 1 seed from the United States, they didn't quite display the same spirit that Jack Hughes displayed at the final of the Olympic Games, and they disbanded, so they didn't really fight through it. We don't really know exactly why. You have to ask the players for that. The one thing that I can tell you, that there are definitely a couple of theories floating around that the results were just simply not there. They've been scrimming for a long time. They've also apparently changed their members a few times, and whatever the reason might be, at the end of the day, they decided that they're not going to go forward with the Nations Cup, so unfortunately they are dropping out. We still have a second seed from the United States, but you are not going to find any of the former HGC players or top players on that lineup. They will have to hold the flag high now and try and represent the US. But yeah, the top team is gone, and it's kind of unfortunate. They had a lot of time to prepare for this. They obviously also come with a few disadvantages since all the games are played out on the European server. Pretty typical for a tournament where we can't quite go into an offline environment. That's unfortunately something that's quite pricey, so if Blizzard wants to host some of those in the future, that would be amazing. But we, for ours, have to resort to online events, and that's what we're doing here. So similar to events that were in the past held on the North American server, where the European teams had to cross-play, this is the case with the Nations Cup here. I don't know how much that figured into the decision of the US to actually bow out of the tournament, if there was some internal strife and drama or what the reason is, but sad news is that they are out of the event. Now we're going to take also a closer look at what exactly is going on with the groups right now, which teams are directly advanced to phase 2 and which teams will participate in the last chance qualifier. But before we do that, there's also another news that I want to talk about real quickly, which is actually very specific for this particular weekend. As most of you already know, we are currently partnered with Opera GX, a browser that is targeting gamers. And guys, once again, it is really important that you try and support the stream here if you can. It's totally free, doesn't cost you a thing. This weekend, more so than ever, because right now, this weekend, if you actually download the browser, you install it, just watch a YouTube video or 2, maybe watch the live stream, every single one that does that will actually count as 2 downloads. So for us, it's important because partnerships like this allow us to host tournaments like the Nations Cup, like Meta Madness. We've done the Banshee Cup last year and several others. So ever since Blizzard abandoned Heroes Esports, we're trying to hold up the flag here and keep the game alive. And for that, partnerships are super needed. So it doesn't really take a long time to do this. You can actually do it within a minute. Opera GX is a browser that is targeting gamers. And again, you can obviously use those features, check everything out. They got an integrated VPN too. But if all that you're looking for is to support the stream, then literally all you gotta do is download it, install it, and watch a YouTube video or 2, use it a little bit, maybe watch a live stream. The whole thing costs you a minute or 2, so it's not really any effort, and this weekend in particular, it would be awesome if some of you could do that haven't done it yet. It really supports the stream, it helps us host additional tournaments in the future. So if you enjoy the content, if you watch Meta Madness, you watch the Underdog Cup, you watch the Nations Cup right now, and everything that we've thrown out over the last few years, this would really be the moment to say, okay, I'm gonna get my butt off the couch for just a second and do this. So thank you for everyone that already did it. Thank you to everyone that is going to do it now this weekend, and whoever is going to do it again. So really appreciate it, and again, this weekend, super important. If you haven't done it yet, please do. Now, as already mentioned, we are roughly at the end of the group stage right now, and basically the groups that are currently still to be played out is mainly Group 7. Which is honestly a pretty interesting one for me personally, because I think there's a lot of teams in there that could be a little bit of a dark horse, and it's going to be quite fun. Sweden so far doing fairly well. But let's take a look at the other groups just to real quickly talk about who actually advanced now to phase 2 of the tournament. Now in total we have 28 teams, and we have from each group the #1 seed advancing directly. So from Group 1, Germany 1 has advanced to the second phase. We have France 1, the first seed of the French from Group 2. The Netherlands advanced as well. Same for Poland 2. Super strong teams for Poland, actually. So currently they have already 2 teams in the second phase of the tournament, since in Group 6 the first seed from Poland advanced as well. In Group 5 we have Ukraine, who also made it out of the group directly, and in Group 7 it currently seems like Sweden might have the edge here, but as I already said before, we have also a quite strong team with France, for example, so we'll see how that group works out. I think the Swedish seed has a pretty good chance of moving out of this. Now the second phase of the tournament features 8 teams in total, so we're determining one last team to move on, and that team is determined by all of the second seeds of the group playing in a last chance qualifier. Now obviously that means that only one will be able to advance, and we have some pretty strong contenders. In Group 1, Serbia is going to move on to the last chance qualifier. We have the second seed from Germany advancing from Group 2. France has another team that's also participating in the last chance qualifier, advancing from Group 3. And then we have the Russian team out of Group 4. We got Sweden 1, which includes Quatnik, Breeze, and Whoopi. They are the ones that will fight for Sweden here. So the first seed of Sweden, not directly qualified. Ukraine was able to decide the group for themselves. So Sweden has another shot here, but we'll see if they can actually take that or not. In Group 6 then we have Czechia 2, and well, when we look, well, Czechia 2 actually is still not 100% through there. Poland 1 is currently the team that will without a doubt advance first, but the second seed, to be fair, there could still be a couple of surprises on this one. Czechia, UAE and USA, Czechia and UAE currently have 3 points each because USA won. As I already mentioned in the intro, they disbanded, so they're still listed here, but they won't play. All of their matches have already nullified and the opponents got their points. So right now, Poland 1 is the big favorite to make it out of the group. Anything else would be shocking. Second seed will then be played out by Czechia 2 and UAE. That's what's currently happening here. Yeah, and then of course there's Group 7. That's also going to get quite interesting. But suffice it to say that just the teams that already advanced to the next stage are super spicy. It's going to get real good, especially with the best of 5 format. And of course our draft rule that a hero can only be played once within a single match. But then when you're looking at the last chance qualifier, lots of heavy hitters on this one as well. And we'll see which team is going to be able to then advance to represent the final, the 8th team in Phase 2 of the tournament, where all 8 teams will play out another full round robin, pretty much a league phase, and that will funnel then straight into 6 teams that play in a double elimination system for the victory of the tournament and of course the prize money. So all of that gives you a bit of an idea of where we stand right now with the tournament. Now if there's any questions, of course, feel free to drop them into the comment section. I'm going to update through the videos continuously and also try to include snapshots of the group, snapshots of the round robin and the bracket for the last chance qualifier, as I've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Once again, before we're tapping out, again, quick reminder, please help with the support on the stream here. It would be super important, helps us to host those tournaments. It's totally free. Doesn't cost you a thing, so if you haven't done it yet, this weekend in particular, it would be absolutely amazing if you could download Opera GX and just use it a little bit in your daily life. That's already more than enough to help us out here, so if you enjoyed the content, consider it. Thank you very much in advance. Hope to see you with the rest of the Nations Cup here, and have a fantastic weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.